Creatures, coming to you guys this week on YouTube. Unfortunately, it snowed again. What are the odds of that? 2 Wednesdays in a row. Horrible amount of snow. But no matter, that's not going to slow us down. Over the course of the semester and the year, we've been talking about how God, how He interacts with all the aspects of our life, how we interact with Him in our lives, how that plays a role with our family, with our friends, and whatnot. Tonight we're going to be continuing with this idea of family. We're going to be talking about how we need to give forgiveness to our family and live at this peace, with this reconciliation or agreement with everybody else in our family. And in the Bible, there's a ton of different families. There's Abraham and Sarah, Isaac and his sons, David and his family, all these different families. And a lot of time when these families come along, there's some sort of conflict that's always going on with these families. And what we learn from this is that even these people that we think of as famous in the Bible, even they had conflict in their lives. That we have conflict in our lives with our family as well. So the story we're going to be looking at first here is the story of Cain and Abel. I'm sure you guys have heard it before. But just to kind of recap, so Cain and Abel, the sons of Adam and Eve, they're living their life doing their Cain and Abel thing. And they're giving these offerings to God, showing God how much they appreciate Him, how much they love Him and stuff. And Abel gives this awesome offering to God, and it's a little bit better than Cain's. And so God shows awesome favor to Abel because of how much love he showed God. And this makes Cain really jealous. Cain doesn't like this at all. But God tells him, He says, hey, don't worry about this. Just do your thing and honor me, and everything will be fine. But Cain doesn't really listen to this, and he doesn't really hear this and kind of comprehend this at all. So he's still just incredibly jealous of Abel. And what ends up happening is that he ends up killing Abel. And there's this conflict that arises from that. And God comes down and He says, what have you done to your brother? How have you done this? And God curses him in his life because of what he's done. What's important is that we can learn from this conflict. Paul writes about conflict with our family and with people in our lives in the book of Colossians. So this is in chapter 3, verse 13. Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. So first starting off with this word bear, not grizzly or black or polar or sloth or moon. I think that's all the bears I know. Anyway, but it's not talking about the animal bear, but this word bear means supporting one another, or holding each other up, holding each other in, protecting one another in that, supporting each other in your lives. So we're bearing with each other and we're forgiving one another for any grievances that we have against each other. For anything that somebody has done to me or something that I've done to them, we're supposed to forgive each other for that. That's because, Jesus came down to earth, and He sacrificed Himself for us, and He died for us on the cross. And the Lord forgives us of our sins, and we're able to be forgiven of our sins because of the sacrifice that Jesus gave us. And so we're supposed to, in our lives, forgive each other like God forgives us in our lives for our sins. And if God can forgive us for all the sins and all the wrongdoings in our life that we do, then we can definitely forgive people in our lives for the small petty stuff that they do to us sometimes. We argue in our families all the time, and me and my brother growing up, I didn't kill my brother like Cain killed his. But me and my brother argued all the time growing up. Whether we wwere playing sports or playing video games or something like that, we were playing 2K or Madden or MLB or Mario Kart or something, we were always arguing. That's because me and my brother are really similar. People who are really similar tend to argue a lot. But what always came out of this is me and my brother always managed to forgive one another for what we said. And we always managed to reconcile with each other and come to this agreement. Because of that, me and my brother have an awesome relationship. He's one of my best friends in the world. I was the best man in his wedding. And I love my brother because of that. And even though I had jealousies of my brother was a really good sports player and I wasn't as good. And I had incredible jealousies of my brother, but we still were able to come to this love and this forgiveness similar to what God shows us. What's really important is that we come to this, that way we can have this peace in our relationships and in our lives, just as God teaches us to do and as God does for us. So we're going to have these questions, and some of the most important things to think about tonight is how can we forgive people in our family for what they've done to us, or how they may have whatever wrongdoings they might have had in our lives, however they annoy us, whatever happens out of that. But also we need to look at ourselves. How are we interacting with our families? So that way we're annoying them or we're doing something wrong to them. How are we doing that to our families? So that way we can come to that peace as well. Alright guys, we're so excited for the interaction we're going to have tonight on social media and going out through the week on Instagram and text us, something like that, with the answers to these questions if you're thinking about it. We can't wait to see you guys next week. Hopefully the snow doesn't keep on going. We pray that we'll be able to see you guys next week, and we cannot wait for that time. See you guys.